Hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Wednesday and let's get right to the charts as Bitcoin is right now having a nice move to the upside. As you can see, I was telling you in my previous video that the stock market is pumping and basically Bitcoin will soon follow. And as you can see, this is exactly what we are seeing right now. Basically, as soon as we broke out above the weekly pivot right here, you can see price was struggling to break out, and then we had a actual retest. You can see not like before, we basically tried to break it, but then price got rejected, as you can see. And right now we are up from today's lows. We are up around 4%, and my target, basically $93,000 for Bitcoin, is still standing. We are basically just another 4% away from hitting this target. As you can see, Ethereum also, the whole time we had Ethereum trading above the weekly pivot, acting as support, and as you can see, it held us pretty nicely right here, and the next target for it would be around $3,100. Solana is also right now trying to go into this PUC right here, basically 141. We are right now just about trading just above 140, and basically my target for Solana would be around this level, around 143 to 146. Basically this would be a pretty nice target. But also something very important is that excuse me, tomorrow it is the 27th of November. We do have the stock market going into holiday because of Thanksgiving in the US, but as you can see right now, we are having a pretty nice rally to the upside on the stock market, so they will potentially close bullish on a hard time frame. So we do have only around 4 hours of US futures until they close out. We might see them hit the weekly R2 around 25,391. Also, the S&P 500 is almost near its all-time highs, basically, as you can see. Unlike the Nasdaq still has around 3.9%, while the S&P 500 is just 1.3% away from its all-time high. Basically, we broke above this level right here that I was talking about in my previous videos, and if we manage to close actually above it, then newer all-time highs would be, in my opinion, pretty easy to hit, or maybe just a retest. Let me just mark it out, just a retest of our all-time highs for the S&P 500. But as I have told you, as long as this flips bullish, then Bitcoin will also be having a nice time. Even if we reject from right here, this would be a nice cool off for the indicators, our RSI, and we might potentially see this rejection right here eventually take slower, but we might also break out, get a bullish retest, and go for a retest of the EMAs on the daily time frame. This is also a very possible scenario that we might see playing out. The Bitcoin dominance actually starting to reverse right here, somewhere between the S2 and the S3. As you can see, we almost hit that. So as you know, if we see the Bitcoin dominance start to rise again, altcoins will of course slow down a bit. Ethereum is still pretty far away from the all-time high. Basically, we are still 39% away from its all-time high. We actually made a pretty significant correction, as you can see, 47, almost 50% of a correction. And the last time I think it was also around, no, here it was 65, I think, from this all-time high previously, or was it from here back in 24 down to the, yeah, exactly 46% we had right here, and right now we also had around 46%. So this right here marked a bottom during the 2024 summer, and then when Bitcoin started breaking out, of course, it also broke out of this range right here. So we might also see something similar play out. Basically it range a bit right here, and then we have the actual breakout towards actual newer all-time highs. But of course, for this to happen, we also need the Bitcoin dominance to start pushing lower. If you look at the open interest for Bitcoin and our CVD right here, you can see today we did have our open interest go down while CVD was going up. So basically this means that there were some short positions opening up right here, or longs closing out, and with this right here you can see we had a move to the downside, and then once everybody was out of the market, you can see our open interest dropped significantly. They are leaving everyone behind, and Bitcoin is pumping to the upside very nicely after the retail traders have been washed out of the markets. The market makers did send the price perfectly, as you can see. These are also very important indicators to watch out for. Also, Bitcoin is currently right now, I think we actually did take out this liquidity. Let me just refresh the page. Exactly, you can see right here perfectly. We took out the liquidity and we still have the remaining liquidity sitting all the way towards $93,000, which is where my target is for Bitcoin. Now we might not get there today, but by the end of the week, or by the basically by the weekend, maybe even until Sunday, we might see Bitcoin push towards this level. As you can see, we are still sitting at 15, still in extreme fear since last week. So it is very possible, as I said, if we start pushing above 90k, that we will be back in that fear zone. We also had some buys in the spot ETF. You can see BlackRock, Fidelity, they did buy quite a lot of BTC. Overall, over 128 million of inflows as of yesterday, which is pretty nice. And today we are seeing this play out perfectly. A long versus shorts ratio, as you can see, we still have more sellers, basically more selling pressure. As I have just told you that we had right here potential shorts opening up. You can see this confirms it basically. So right now what we're having, of course, is a short squeeze, but this might potentially turn into a real bullish move. Funding rates still remaining negative on some of the major exchanges, as you can see. And we did have our PPI data on Tuesday, and today, basically on Wednesday, we are having the actual move happening for the markets. You can see Thursday we have nothing since it is a holiday, and on Friday we also don't have we have futures expiration for Bitcoin. Other than that, we don't have any more news for next week. Let's see. We have inflation data on Friday. We have unemployment on Thursday, and we have PMI on Monday. So basically, we still have 3 important days into the coming into the next week. Basically, this would be the first week of December, so I would be expecting somewhat of a bigger volatility than this week to come, or basically a bullish continuation of this move happening. And I think this covers it for today, guys. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.